Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Maine. Um, it's a fresh week, and I have what I hope is a fresh idea for you guys. So, from the title and description, you probably already saw, we are going to be using the Christmas candles, new stamps and dies. But I'm still just desperately clinging to fall and Halloween. So I thought that this would be a fun one to stretch. I'll do a Halloween version now, and then in a couple weeks, we'll do a Christmas version. Um, but yeah, I just thought it would be they're poinsettias and pine needles, but I promise with the proper coloring choices and very simple additions that we can make this um, very Halloween seasonal. So I do want to go through and check in with everybody from the comments. I did see Virginia was popping in and out. I hope that your husband is doing okay. We love you, Miss Virginia. And we'll see you back here hopefully very soon because he'll be all better soon. So I saw Melissa checking in. I saw Gail was here as well. Let's see, I see Kay's checking in with us. Angela's here. Julie, it says Mark Julie, but I'm going to assume it's Julie out of the two that's hanging out. I see Miss Karen's here. Jackie Ann is here. Frida's checking in. I see Lynn. Let's see, Miss Connie's here. Miss Darcel is here. Karen, were you checking in from both sides, Facebook and YouTube? I see Kelly's here checking in with us. Anna, Diana. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Oh, Lori's here too. So yeah, Brennan's here. Brennan was trying to give me some inspo, but I missed his message and I already picked this. So I have a feeling his request will make it into Thursday's live. Um, so yeah. Yeah, it's really, I don't know why either. Then your names are all showing like your actual YouTube like tag names. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know why it's doing that either, but hi. Um, let's see. Frida says she's checking in from Texas, I think. Polly's checking in with us. Welcome, welcome. All right, so besides Christmas candles, I also grabbed some asphalt cardstock and construction cardstock. I also had the idea to light these up, but I don't think that I have time for that tonight. If that's something you would like to see, let me know. I might put it on my channel, and then I can let you guys know. But I think the Pear Blossom Press twinkle lights for Christmas or Halloween or both, and a little like press over here in the corner with them twinkling would be amazing. But tonight we're just going to focus on the coloring part. Maybe for Christmas, if you guys want to see them light up for when we do them for Christmas, you let me know. The first thing we need to do is stamp these out. We are going to be coloring with Copic markers tonight, so we're going to stamp onto some Copic Express It paper. Thanks, Frida. Yeah, I went for some Halloweeny. You can kind of see them on this hand. They're thermal. The dip powder is thermal, so it changes color hot to cold. So cold is like a super dark purpley, almost black, and then hot is that red. So it's fun that they kind of ombre themselves. Let's trim this guy down. Yeah, like for Brennan, it says the BDK creations and not Brennan. It's very interesting. I'm wondering what permissions might have changed from YouTube or something. I don't know. So weird. All right. How's everybody doing? Julie said she received my stamp and die kit today. Yay! Yep, Miss Jackie Ann, we are doing copics today. Yes, light up for Christmas would be fun. Okay, cool. With that one, I'll just like pre-do some of the steps, like pre-stamp, and maybe have like the card base ready to go. It's not like a hard process to add the lights. It's just, it takes a couple minutes. Okay, here. I love that this stamp set comes with the coordinating dies, right? Like our palm tree or fern tree that we had did not have the coordinating dies. And it's still beautiful. I just feel like having the die makes it a little easier to use. Well, it gives you more options. We'll put it that way. And we had also talked about emboss resist watercoloring this set. So maybe that's what we'll do when we do it for Christmas. Some emboss resist watercolor. Okay, my paper definitely moved. But honestly, I think for the Halloween look, I like the bold, extra bold black. So we're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll. Let's give a little pink and mane squeaky clean. So we'll put this away completely coated. Hey, Dad. Dad's here checking in. I didn't see Mom, but she should be here too. Pretty sure she's done her dance classes. Changing it up on us. Historically accurate map of Europe. Oh, I don't miss AP classes at all. Not at all. All right. So let's get to work. There we go. Coloring our candles to give them a spooky look. Let's see. Pumpkin pie for my birthday. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Yes, I vote pumpkin anything all the time for any reason, year round. Whatever makes you happy. All right, we're going to take care of these pine needles first. We can't make them. I mean, I guess you could try to make them. I'm not going to focus on making them not into pine needles. My goal is more to fill in and darken all of the area outside of these florals. And then I'm adding some of my YG99 on the center stem part of those pine needles. So I want them super dark. That's why having that double stamp is completely fine for this, for the look I'm going for. Okay. Then we're going to jump up to YG97. These YG deeper colors to me read very spooky Halloween. They're a little bit grungy, and the YG versus having like a very I don't know, that like evergreen color just screams Christmas, right? So by really switching out the undertone of that green, we're going to set it apart a little. Down here we have more room, so I'll leave some space for a highlight. Pumpkin cake with cream cheese icing. Yes, 1000%. Whatever we're talking about, yes. We had fall treat day at work today, and it was so, everything was so good. I made the easiest little fall treat, and there was a ton left over. I got no bake cheesecake mix, like the Philadelphia tub of no bake cheesecake, and put it in like a thin layer. And then we went in with a salted caramel, like ice cream topping sauce, and um, drizzled it on the top, and then added in toffee pieces and mini chocolate chips. And then you dip it with apples. So good. And because it's apples, it's healthy. That's how it works. I didn't know if you knew that, but that's how it works. All right, so there's our pine needles done. And you can see with that color in there, I know that they're still pine needles, but they don't scream pine needle. All right, I have been thinking about this. We're going to do the classic Halloween color combo of green, purple, and orange. So I've been trying to decide if we want to do purple flowers with orange candles or orange or purple candles with orange flowers. And I'm leaning purple here because I think like having the glow of the candle and then cool tone and then warm tone could be really cool. So we're going to try that. Just trying to walk you through the steps. And then maybe the little berries can be purple too. So let's take care of these purple. No, let's do our flowers first. We're going to go true classic orange because we're using construction cardstock. So for our florals, no matter what the floral is or the occasion, I just found a pine needle section in this. And that might happen as we color these. Some more might pop up. That's okay. Any place where one petal is overlapping another automatically gets a shadow. And then towards the center of our flowers is going to be more heavily shadowed. And then we kind of use the artist drawn lines of the veins of our petal to bring that color up a little further. So we're just going to kind of follow that. It's not really a rule. It's more like guidelines. That's for my dad. Yeah, we're just going to kind of use that technique and just rotate our card, work our way around. I like to do one flower at a time, at least for adding these in, because you can see like over here, there's other petals. If I start doing all of it at once, it gets all mixed up and I have a hard time remembering what is what. And then for this petal, you can see it's curved over itself. So we want to make sure we're really pulling that shadow of where it's curled up, right? And we can add a little shadow to the curled section as well. This whole other flower is laying on top of this petal, so this petal is going to be pretty dark. That. And then this is kind of hard to tell from how I stamped it. You can see that the little veins from these are all running to the left. This one, they're running to the right. They're pointing to the right. So that's part of this flower. So we'll skip that one for now. Okay, we're jumping from a YR09 to a YR07. There you go. That's as zoomed as I can get, but I will zoom in for you. So then from there, I'm just going to start pulling that color out. Again, trying to kind of follow the shape of those, the veining running through those petals. I keep wanting to say leaves because they do kind of look like leaves. And for these ones where there's not a lot showing, we just want to make sure we're still leaving some room for highlight. But yeah, this is definitely kind of the same idea as our little goblin, Halloween Christmas elf goblin we made like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We're really just changing out your colors, and the other papers you use with it can help you kind of shift the theme. And you know what? When this is all done, maybe it'll still look like a Christmas stamp that I colored different, but that's okay too, because it's still fun, right? It's fun to make. It's fun to hang out with you guys. I love hanging out with you guys so much. Oh no, I missed one. This one definitely is part of this. And I went over the line there. Come back in with our lightest and kind of push that ink right back out. All right. Now for this one back here, same thing. We want to make sure that we're really layering in the shadows where this flower falls under the other one. And I'm even going to bring in a fourth color. I'm going to bring in a brown. We're going to bring in a little E09. You could swap that for any other darker brown or dark orange, maybe even a little red would work, just for those places where it's under that other flower. Because that one is so much further back and like behind that flower, I really want to push those shadows. Long marker. So back to our original darkest, that YR09. There's a little shadow there. Okay. Oh, there's Mom. Oh, thank you, Angela. I hope that it just inspires you guys to get creative on how you can stretch your stash. um, because like I 100% get like stocking up on your favorite new holiday products now, but I just know that not everyone is like actually raring to go on making Christmas. So if we can, if there's any other inspiration or things you can do to play and start like getting warmed up and practicing coloring those images now, then by the time you're ready to make Christmas, you'll know exactly what you want to do. You'll have a very clear vision. Hey, Helene. All right, so back to our center flower. Here, turn it over to see, hopefully better. One petal over the other, and then up through the center. That's part of that one. And then any of this area kind of around that center pom-pom, no, that's not what it's called, but you know what I mean. I'm just gonna fill it. But also, if I came here and tried to just force myself to make Christmas, you guys would feel the difference. You would, you'd be like, man, it's not Caitlin's best work. Because when you love what you're making, it just shows up so differently in your cards. Go. Come in with that lightest, that YR04. Hey, Cherry. Okay, just filling in those edges, making sure we go over those colors enough that we're still getting a nice blend. And if you are newer to coloring in florals like this and you want to make yourself a little bit of a guide, you can always take your lightest shade, right? This is our lightest YR04, and like pre-map for yourself where your shadows are going to go as like a practice round before you commit with your darkest marker, or work lightest to darkest your whole way blending down. That's fine too. Whatever system works for you. Right, so you can map that out, then jump to our darkest and literally just cover right over those sections. But now I know, in case, like if you are practicing your shading and then you look at it when it's done, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have added, you know, this spot right here, then you can just leave it alone. And when you go over everything with your lightest marker at the end, it'll just blend into that. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm going to have to go back and read the comments. I feel like things are coming in very out of order and I'm missing things. All right, back in with our YR04. Okay, and then I also have one little spot over here that has pine needles. Okay, and the centers for all of those, I just used that Y38, that honey. It's just like a little more yellow. guess I should be adding a little bit of our brown to this flower too. Again, just where it overlaps. There we go. And that way those two really get pushed back into the sleeve. All right. For our purples, we could go like a little more of a dusky, but I think a really bright like pop of color purple is gonna really push this the rest of the way towards Halloween. So we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna leave a little bit of an edge highlight here on my candle pillars. And down here at the bottom, we're gonna fill this in, kind of working around those pine needles. And just a little on the outsides. I also am kind of going around the those little drips. Oh, Mom, it's Brennan, not Brandon. Brennan. Same thing over here, leaving those little highlights, and that's going to help separate them from each other. Right? He's not getting bonus points for vellum either in school. Those AP teachers do not care. There we go. And we're just going to work our way down, or I guess work our way across. I'd rather start out with a little less of this deepest, darkest purple because we can always add more as we shade if we decide we need it. It's called creative support. It's like what you guys do for me. All right, so we started with a V09. Now I'm jumping up to V17, starting to eat away at that white space. Anywhere where there's those lines don't feel like they're blending really well, we can go over them over a couple times. Really let that ink sink into the paper, and that'll help get your ink moving around. Okay, then I'm going to jump up to 15, which is definitely more in that pinky purple realm. So this is where I was saying we're going to probably have to go over these colors a few times, maybe just 2 times, to make sure that we get a nice blend. But I love the pop that these give, that this color gives to this trio. So I'm going to come back in with my medium, and I'm going to pull from the bottom and pull that color up into that 15 space. Then we can come from the opposite direction with our 15 and pull down towards that 17. And that's going to help to feather in that blend a little bit. But I kind of like this look where the flowers are creating that really deep shadow on the candles. Like that. And then let's come in and add some purple to these little berries. Just literally kind of tapping color in there. We're just going to do our lightest and our darkest because there's not a ton of room down here. Okay. Then for our flames, I want like a bright yellow, and then we're going to add some orangey to the base. So a little Y08. And we'll come back with that Y38 that we used on the flower centers and just tap that in right at the bottom. All right, so that's our coloring. Okay, I think the magic's going to be in the finishing of this one. So if you're not with me on it yet, just stay with me. Just roll with me a little longer, and we'll see if I can get this vision to come to life here. Went out of the lines on this part too. Come back in with that lightest shade. Push that purple right out. You know, we might actually have time to make this light up. I'm looking at the time we have, and I think it could be doable. And I think that twinkling candles would help to up the Halloween factor. So I think we might have to do that. I'm pretty sure I have a pear blossom press set here extra. Okay. I did not think that there would be this much white space around the die cut edge. So we're going to come back in with that YG97 to fill this area in. Go. And a little bit of our YG04 up here. And then I want to black out the edges on the around the candles. I don't want that white line because we're going to be putting this up against black cardstock and adding our own spider webs. And I think the white edge is going to just take away from that. You could also do this part before you die cut, but either way, you also have to take the side of a pen and go around the edges because there will be the side of the white cardstock that just like won't get covered on its own. And that's true whether you color it this way or you pre-black out the edges before you die cut. Just run this around the edge the whole way around, and then we can just color in. Right? Do you see? It's starting to get there. We're starting to get to Spooky Town. And then a little like intentional sentiment placement is going to really finish selling this, I think. I don't know. You guys know I don't make this stuff ahead of time. I haven't practiced this. I didn't try it out. We're just going on vibes. The best I can do right now. We're just going on vibes. Okay, yeah, see how good that looks with the black edge on the black cardstock. So how do we want to do this? I kind of I don't love this edge, so I kind of want to see if I can cut, um, cut out, ooh, what about an arch? Arches can be spooky. So that's like if you wanted to fit the whole thing in there, that's good to know. And then this one, yeah, see, again, if we can kind of, I don't want to cut out all of it, but I kind of do. The more pine needle we can trim, the more Halloween we can make this look. For Christmas, just know that this arch is like perfect for these flowers. Yeah, it does need a skull caring, 100%. These are the stitched arches dies. So that fits perfect. I think I am going to trim this, and I have no regrets on, coloring stuff that's getting trimmed off because that's how we practice. And it's good for you guys to see the whole thing colored. Either way. All right. Yeah, I'm worried that my die cutting machine is not gonna like cutting through 2 layers. So we're gonna do the die cut layer first. And remember, it's the candle part is still die cut to match like the candle. But now we have this little stitched, can you see it? There, you can kind of see it there. There you go. That stitched little border. Then I can take my black and just die cut that whole thing. Then we can attach them together, and the stitches will be seamless. Right now, let me double check that I have one of these here. Oh, an arch frame with the other two Like have like the bigger one. What if we made a shaped card? Let's do that. Thanks, Melissa. You always come in clutch with some good ideas. We'll make a little shaped arch card with our construction, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me see what's in my light up bin. Halo lights, candle light. But that's only like a single. Those are cool because you can blow them out. But I haven't used that before. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I guess I should have checked before I said we were gonna do it. But where's the fun in that, you know? There we go. Easy light. Those are the regular non-twinklers, which isn't bad. We could use those. Easy light. Okay, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna do just regular easy light because I don't know what twinklers are. So we are gonna take, and again, this would be beautiful for Christmas as well. Christmas, Halloween, doesn't matter. Any kind of light up candles is cool. All right, so we only need one battery pack. We only need one of our light sets. So you just split them down the middle. Okay, this one will go back in to the packaging to make sure it stays nice and safe. We have a whole nother card we can use that on. We are going to, how do I want to do this? We're going to cut holes into our black backer panel and let the light kind of shine from behind the candle flames, I think. So you can, Pear Blossom has sets of dies where it like cuts the little tiny hole. I don't feel like doing that. And if it's not something you can get like easily from Pink and Man, I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna line these up. I'm gonna come in with a white gel pen. Oh, yay, Denise. I hope this helps. Okay, so I'm trying to put a dot basically like here, but on the black cardstock layer. Okay, and I'm just using a hole punch, which is a little big. So I'm gonna try to hole punch like right under that, like the top edge of the hole is gonna line up. Well, I guess I didn't really think that out for this guy, did I? So I have, you know what, we'll just use a key tool or something. That'll be fine. Let's get some. We'll just trim that extra away. I promise it doesn't have to be perfect to work. Whatever is easiest for you. All right. These are gonna go on top. You know what? This was silly. I think we need some foam just so that the light shines from behind it, but I don't want this whole thing popped up. So I'm going to come in with tiny thin foam squares. These are from Simon Says Stamp. I know they're not the only ones that make it. So just like on either side of the flame. And then the rest we're going to add tape on or two and adhere it flat. So it would help if I took all this stuff. You could also just pop this whole thing up with foam. That would be okay. We line up the bottom. Okay, now on the back of our these little lights, the yellow part is the light itself, right? So we want to make sure that we're positioning our lights, our wires, so that the yellow part is facing down. And we're going to tape those into place. So yellow part facing down, taping the light and the wire into place. Just one per spot. Helene, I did not intentionally, I didn't think we would have time. I did not think we would have time. Yeah, Karen, it is giving tombstone with the arch. I love that. Even if it's like a subliminal thing, right? Like we don't have to actually make it look like a tombstone, but one more little element that'll help your mind to see Halloween. And these wires are pretty flexible, so you can kind of manipulate them however you need. Okay, then we're going to curl up the rest, and you want to put the button side facing down. So I want my button, I think, on this side. This is definitely not how Pear Blossom Press tells you to do this, but this is what I do. I take the Pink and Main Easy Tear tape and I add it to the top of the battery part. I guess we should pop in our battery too while we're here, huh? I'm pretty sure that they tell you to tape the bottom to your card base, but I have a hard time lining things up when I do that. So I have found that it works much easier for me, and I haven't had any issues with the performance of my lights doing it this way, kind of technically upside down. So you want to put your battery into place, make sure it works, right? You can see they're lining up. And then we're going to take our backing tape off and put this somewhere that makes sense for a button. We're going to have to add a little like push here, something there. We're just going to tape the rest of those wires down. And now, here, hold on. There you go. It's supposed to be spooky. There you go. In person, it glows really fun. These should have been up a little higher, I think. I bet we can move them. Hold on. Because that's why I like to do these with washi tape, because I bet we can slide, even though where the hole is a little low, we can take that out and just like scoot our hole up a little. what the back of the card is nobody's business anyway. And I think I used to have teeny tiny scissors. Those would be really helpful right now. If you have teeny tiny scissors, I encourage you to use them for a project like this. All right, you can see I just kind of dug my way up a little higher. We will reposition our light so that it's at the top of that hole. And let me just tape it right back into place. Okay, and then this guy too was pretty close, just a touch low. So this one, again, I'm not even going to dig this one. I'm going to just put the light in a little bit so it's right under that lip and tape him right back into place. Now let's try again. But there we go. That's what I was going for sure. Love it. All right, let's finish this up and make us a card. But see, if you try something like this and you're, test it out as you go. And if it's not perfect, don't lose heart. Don't freak out. Don't give up. Because chances are there is a way to make it look like more of the vision that you had. There isn't a right or wrong, so I'm not going to say fix it. Let's see. Also, I didn't pick out a sentiment. I know I mentioned a sentiment earlier. 100% didn't consider that when I was picking out products to use. So we'll figure that part out here in a minute. Let's make our fun card base. Okay. We're going to take a full 8.5 by 11 sheet and cut it at, that's what I want to do, right? No, that's not what I want to do. We're going to cut it this way at 4 1/4. Okay, so long ways like a hot dog. And we're going to take a scoring board. I'm warning you guys right now, I'm going to have to put this through my machine like 4 times to make it happy. We're going to score it at 5.5 to make our A2 top folding card base. Okay, and we're going to take our arch die and some more washi tape, because I go through washi tape like my life depends on it. Okay, and then at the top, we're going to leave just a little bit off. Just a little hint, that little line. There you go. Right, like there's the stitch line. We want right up to that solid line is going to just go off the edge. If you want to make this more like a bigger fold, actually, that's what I'm thinking of right now. I like the orange. We'll just make a separate layer. I want a good fold on this because of the lights. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher. You can see there's a gap under here. And we'll just cut an extra single arch to put on top to keep the shape. So hold on, I'll show you what I mean. This is getting die cut through with both layers. Do it a couple times if you need. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So that gives us our shaped card, right? And but you can see it, we lose a little bit of that arch. So if you're fine with that, keep going, go for it. Just leave it alone. But if you don't love that, what I'm going to do is cut one more single layer arch. And when we add that to the front, you get the full top section, right? The full curve. And you can do this with any shape that you want. You can make a circle card, arches, those hexagons we love. You can get real crazy. So see, if we add this to the front, we have the look of a solid, and then when you open it, it still has that little fold. So just this little bit here gets covered up. Plus, when Misty sees this later, this means it's officially an actual card. She messaged me earlier. She said there's a haunted house in California that's all Taylor Swift themed, and it has a graveyard, and the tombstones are all of Taylor's exes. And I felt so seen and loved in that moment that she heard Taylor Swift graveyard and immediately thought of me. So there's our card base, our little arch. Then we have this arch that's going to live right there. We do need to pop it up with some foam because we need room for our button. Okay. That one we're going to use our regular Pink and Main foam. Look how little my circle is getting. It's a little. You don't have to sweat going like on the edges or stress out about the edges. Technically, we're going to need 2 layers of this foam because that button is pretty thick. Trim that. And if you take the backing paper off of your foam, it curves much easier. Fun fact. And it's okay to go over where the lights were because we have that washi tape there holding it where we want it to stay. I don't think I want like a ton of those wires under there if I can help it. Okay, then do that again. Okay, there we go. We can add a little support right here in the middle too, because I just have some extra scraps. All right, let's, I feel like that looks pretty good. Give that a squish. Okay, then we need a little button so we know where to push, and we need a sentiment, and we can totally do that in less than 15 minutes. So we are doing good on time. Where if I was a Halloween stamp set, where would I be? I don't know that Monster Wishes is the route that I want to take. Maybe a spooky hello from our little mouse. Also, what do you guys think of like a enamel dot or something as the button? I think a spooky hello would be very cute. Think that out. Do we need like black on white? Or what? Sorry, white on black. I feel like we need a color. Everything else is color. I don't really want white cardstock on this. Maybe black and purple. Bring some more purple down on top of the orange. Thanks, Denise. Yeah, they're thermal. They change in the temperature change. What am I doing? Purple. I'm grabbing purple. Awesome. Let's try. Let's see how she looks. Come in with a little grape soda. There. Our little spooky hello. Black ink on orange. I'm just worried it'll get lost in all the orange. Let's try the purple. If we hate it, we'll do the black and orange. I went in with my anti-static powder tool, powder brush. Going with our emboss ink and then our grape soda embossing powder. All right, I should have stamped it twice, but we learned this, what, a week or two ago? If we don't move anything and we melt what we've got, we can always go over it with a second layer. So let's melt what we've got. I'm also gonna grab a giant stack of enamel dots because I do think that's gonna be, thanks E. I do think the enamel dot's gonna be what I want as my button. So you can see. It's not terrible, but it's not great. So let's go in for round 2. We pop it right back into its spot. A little more anti-static powder just for good measure. And because we didn't move our stamp, we can load that up, stamp it right on top. Make sure this one is very inky. I can also come in, that first press, I think I pressed a little hard, but I can come in with a little pick tool and clean up any of the spaces that got kind of over embossed, like that little spot in the hello. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Let's give this guy a little trim, and I want like a purple enamel. I pre-apologize if not all of these are on the website anymore. I can't remember. There you go. We'll just do a solid purple. This is from the, this says musical enamel dots. I don't know if that's real life or not. Let's take a big one. And we can always add a little note into our card that explains to press that purple dot, and it'll turn on your candle. Let's trim. I'm going to come in with a full stick post-it note. You can use a regular stick post-it note too. I like to line the sticky edge up with the bottom of my letters all the way across. And that way you can like place this in and hold it and line your post-it up with the plastic edge of your wire without chopping off a finger. Okay, think like that, a little spooky hello right across from our button, and then I'll turn the desk lights off again and show you guys. This could also in theory go up here. Do we like it better up there? I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking up here. Yeah, sure. Sure. Which just means this needs a tiny little trim because of that foam. So if you had pre-planned this, which clearly I don't do, you could have embossed that first. Thank you guys so much for all the love on this one. I'm going to turn them all out. All right, it's going to get real dark here for a second. Okay. But look how cool. A spooky hello. Oh, there's one more thing I meant to do. All right, well, you saw it light up. My last little parting thought was that it would be very easy to take some white gel pen and make our own little spider webs. Without having any, see, and to me that takes it, I knew it, that takes it directly to Halloween Town. Not trademarked, not sponsored. Oh, it's perfect. I'm so glad I didn't forget that. There we go. Now this side looks empty. Okay, for real this time. There we go. So a spooky hello with our Christmassy candles, but they light up spooky. We have a fun shaped card base. I think that's a pretty cool one. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that if nothing else, it inspires you just to get creative and think outside the box with products you already have. Maybe some Christmas things that you've already treated yourself to, or your favorite Pink and Main set from last year. Maybe it's a floral. Brennan had sent me a picture of the pretty jarred sketched florals from Pink and Main from a while ago. Technically, they're like a summer release, but you can color them however you want. So any sets that you have that you can get creative and see new, exciting ways that you can use your products. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and putting up with my crazy Halloween obsessed brain. I will be back here on Thursday with another fun project, and I promise very, very soon we will be gung ho winter and Christmas. But I just need a little bit of spooky to get me through October. So thank you guys again so much. I will be back here and see you on Thursday. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Stay safe. I love you. And until next time, happy crafting. Have a good night, guys.